Welcome back to a new episode of 2Ds on a Pod, the best sport podcast in the world or Australia?
No, we'll go Australia.
Australia first.
We're still building.
Yeah.
You could be actually listening on Spotify. So
First week, that's going to go up.
yeah, or actually on time. So
I
found out that it's so much easier. Obviously, Spotify is just audio only. We're not exclusive with Spotify yet. We'll have to, obviously, they've come to us with an offer. We're not quite happy with the money. So there's going to be a few more, I think, weeks of being not exclusive with Spotify. But in all seriousness, yes, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. We could be on Apple Podcasts.
That just shows we're for the people. The people wanted Spotify, and that's what they got.
And when Spotify come with that contract, there might be a little agreement that says, Drew, not I say 400 times an episode. Just editing it myself, I just want to punch myself in the face because I just say so many times. And it's come to the point where today we had a nice picnic at Neil Hawkins Reserve, or was it Park Reserve, whatever, in Joondalup. Nice little place there. And I'm telling stories to my family I haven't seen in ages. And I'm just like, Drew, don't say don't say and I get
You're getting self-conscious about
yes,
it,
I'm getting very self-conscious to the point where I just lose train of thought. And I'm like, don't say and I'm like, oh, I can't even remember what I'm talking about. So I'm sorry, I'm getting better at speaking a little bit, not really.
It's all a work in progress though.
But we're not here to shit on me. We can do that all day. We want to shit on our best mate, Raj. So Raj invited us to his house on the weekend. First time I've never been to his house.
Honestly, I think that's the first time since year 8 was the last time we had a party at his house. Party at his house.
What was the party in year 8?
It was the boys went round to his. I remember we
played 2K. We were just in the front room.
We played 2K for a bit. We went out the back and he had a gym setup type thing. So you do the standard kind of lift some weights, basketball. Yeah. But it was.
I wasn't invited. We weren't that good mates then, but I wasn't invited. So fuck you, Raj. No, but it's the first time ever that I was not just in his front room. I went out
through the house.
I've never been sat on his couch before. It was a very nice couch. Hey, he's
comfortable.
He's fucking rich. He's got remember when he was showing us? He's got a phone charger. In the middle.
In his couch.
Yeah, in his couch.
It's the craziest thing. Yeah.
It's bullshit. And it doesn't even work that well. I tried to put my phone in there. I've got a shit phone, by the way.
Well, who was it? It was me and someone else as well. Tried putting both our phones at the same time, and it didn't work. I had to take mine off so then they could put theirs in. But I think he's up for just poorest form of the week, though. So, long story short, Raj's parents are away for 2 weeks on a holiday back in India, right?
In India, yeah.
And, if my parents go away and the dogs get left at home, I just feed the dogs, look after the dogs as you kind of do.
Yeah, I've got an older dog. Mm-hmm. It's not too hard to look after.
It's really not. Feed it once a day, twice a day, maybe.
I think if you feed it twice a day, then you're treating it a little bit. Feed it once a day, and that's pretty good. Yeah,
and you just kind of, it's not that hard to look after a dog realistically. No. So his parents have gone to India for 2 weeks, not even that long of a time. No. And we pulled up to Raj yesterday, and we're like, "Oh, where's the dog? Where's Indy?
Where's Indy gone?" And the dog's maybe it's not a puppy. It's 5.
But it's not even an old dog. It's probably it's in its prime now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's trained.
It's probably the easiest dog you could look after because it's not a puppy. It's not old.
Black Labrador, right?
Yeah, legit. Yeah. And so we ask him. We're like, "Oh, where's Indy?" He goes, "It's at daycare."
Doggy daycare for 2 weeks.
His parents don't trust him to look after his dog for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I wouldn't trust. No, I actually would not trust Raj with a kid, let alone a dog. And then
hold up.
So
would you trust him with a kid more than a dog? Because I wouldn't trust him with either.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him either. But the point is, he said, "Oh, I'm at uni all the time." The man had a uni break the first week, so he could have looked after the dog the first week, and then the second week, I give a little bit of lenience when the dog is really new, it's a puppy still, so it can tear up the house, shits everywhere, pisses everywhere. You don't really want to clean up when you get home, but the dog's old enough to surely it's not like it's gonna be by its. Oh, I'm saying again, fuck. It's not like it's going to be in the house. I still want to say fuck.
Okay. Anyway. It's not that big of a deal if you say a couple times.
No, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut for the rest of the podcast. Anyway.
It's a solo podcast now, Drew. Shut the fuck up. This is my show only.
Yeah. And then, so, there's the dog. He had all this food in the fridge, already pre-made for 2 weeks. So he has curries, he has just other cooked meals prepared for 2 weeks by his lovely mother. Like, the man can't cook for himself either.
He actually can't. And then, but even he can't, like, even just his overall kind of thing, you know, you have the boys over, maybe put some food on or something like that. You feed them, everyone's getting drunk at your house. And they're like, oh, Raj, do you have any food? And he brings out some beer nuts and salt and vinegar chips.
Jeremy, like, chucked it everywhere. The nuts ended up everywhere. But that's why I did come pre-prepared. I brought KFC just for myself. I was going to message the group chat. I was like, nah.
It was a smart move of me. I got Ryan to take me to KFC as well. But,
yeah.
I mean, moving on, it was a big weekend of sport.
It was a big weekend.
EPL, Everton moved further into the relegation zone.
Yeah, they look in the mud at the moment. What I wanted to say is I finished work at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Melbourne started at 5:25. Obviously, the Anzac Eve clash. A lovely spectacle to go to watch. And then, so that ended about 7:30. Oh, no, it was about 8 o'clock, actually. And then the soccer, Chelsea versus West Ham, started at 9. And then the F1 started at 9 as well. So I went from footy straight into the soccer, and F1 had both laptops set up.
Oh, perfect.
And then I was also trying to do a university assignment, so...
I know that didn't get done.
That did not get done. It was kind of done. I was like, all right, by half time, I need to write, like, I think it was about 50 words. And then still that didn't get done. And then I was like, all right, I'll make dinner like during half time of the soccer. And we'll go into the F1s. That was not exciting at all.
It was not. It wasn't a good race. It was
dominated by Max.
Max drove off into the distance. They waited way too long to enable DRS. Don't know why they waited that long. I mean, the dry line did get established very early. And
yeah. I think Carlos a bit unlucky again.
Carlos got very unlucky. Daniel Ricciardo, it was a tough one. When I saw it, I was like, I instantly thought it was Daniel Ricciardo's fault. But then looking back at like the replays, it's just like it's a racing incident, really. Yeah. Like because if that move comes off, everyone's like, fuck, Daniel Ricciardo is so like such a good driver.
I think for me it was a racing incident, and it's just it's unfortunate those things happen so early in the race.
Yeah, and it throws off the whole race. I mean, Carlos didn't complete the race, but then I guess with Danny Rick, he had a couple pit stops and shit. He was getting a lot of data for McLaren for I guess like development and stuff, which is a positive on like a down note.
Yeah,
but no, it was just a boring race. Max sailed out to 20-second pretty comfortable lead.
Oh yeah, I think he was up to like 40, and then they're like, I might as well just do a pit stop just to be safe.
Yeah.
And then Perez kind of just chilled. They big fumbled the bag for Ferrari though, so obviously Carlos got a bit unlucky, but
that one from Charles was the gifted a podium to Lando Norris. Yeah. I mean, you look at even like
it was cool. So obviously there's different camera angles throughout the race, and I'm sure you're watching as well. But when he actually like spun out, it was like on his actual. I think it was either another camera on his car, but his helmet. Oh no, it can't be his helmet camera, surely. But yeah, anyway, it was his perspective. Yeah. Like, they're like, oh yeah, look how well he's doing. He's like coming third. He's pushing Perez, and then next minute, I'm like, oh fuck. He's like it wasn't too bad into the wall, but yeah, he did lose traction. And then I even had to do like I love KO when you can just do the little back 15. I was like, I want to watch that again because it's fucking cool. Like it rarely happens, and it's just like a big coincidence that it's on that actual camera angle, because normally they're like talking about someone else. Oh, he's into the wall. And So,
well, I mean, if you get F1 TV, you can just like choose what camera angles to watch, or like you can just so whatever one. I'm pretty sure I don't have F1
and
TV.
It's also on. I don't know if it's on that, but you can listen in the team communications as well. Yeah, I find that's pretty cool to have access to, like the public have access to that, because look what Max Verstappen said in like.
I've always wondered like how much access they have to it though, because like surely there's got to be channels that they're able to speak to each other on that aren't broadcast.
Probably, but at the same time, do other teams listen in other people's radios as well, don't they?
If it's broadcast and you're allowed to, okay. So that's like. No, I mean, like, that's why I'm thinking, like, they'd have to have one, but then it's like, how do they choose what gets shown, what doesn't get shown?
And there's also...
I mean, they 1,000% do it. Yeah. I mean, you look at Lewis Hamilton, who's talking about his tyres being gone, and then sets a faster slap on him next thing. Like, how much of that is really genuine?
So do we know what Charles ended up coming? So obviously he's going to pretty much secure a third, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was going to be an easy third. I mean, he had when he came out, came out in front of Perez. Yeah. But then it had worked out better for Checo because his tyres already warmed up. Yeah. From like the outlap beforehand. But
when he spun, it was down to 8, I believe, and then obviously he pitted, and there was a commentator saying, "Oh, they should have stayed out just to make sure that." Obviously, when he pitted, he lost so many positions, but he could have might have stayed out there, like with the damage not being too bad, but we'll never know whether the damage was that bad to lose all those places.
Wait, which instance? This one for?
The one where he ended up spinning out and kind of touching the wall. The front ring was like a bit damaged, so they sent him straight in, and I think it was the former Mercedes driver, the one that commentates now.
Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, so he was saying, they should have waited, like done another lap, get a few more indicators to see how much slower. Like obviously a bit damaged, so much slower he is because he could have just stuck out there.
Yeah. But it's like it's a risky game because then if he stays out there and he loses grip and he goes into the wall, now you've gone from potentially getting like 5 points to now 0 points.
So yeah, he did end up coming 6th. So he got 8 points in the end, which is like not ideal. He'd probably much rather come 3rd, obviously, but kind of puts Red Bull back near the top.
Floats in background. I mean, it was a good weekend from Lando Norris, like getting everything out of that McLaren, coming 3rd.
What happened to... So obviously Russell came 4th, but what happened to Hamilton? I didn't see that.
Fuck, what did happen to Hamilton?
He just had a shit race.
It was just like, he just never had pace. Like
I bet all he's thinking is like how much he's going to buy Chelsea. That's what's in his head.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to that a little bit because I want to bring that up. Yeah. But I mean, he never had pace. Yeah. He comes in lap 20 like everyone else does to get onto the slicks, and as he comes out of the pits, Alpine send out Esteban and Ocon to try to get out just in front of him. If it works, it's sick. If not, like, you end up smacking into the side of the car, which did happen. Yeah. So, I mean, and Esteban Ocon, I'm pretty sure, got penalised for it. Yeah, just a shit weekend for Hamilton. But I guess it shows George Russell, he's the only driver this year, start of the day for you, only driver this year to finish top 5 in all 4 races. Wow. So, only driver.
Yeah, so, and then, obviously, if Leclerc didn't crash, he would have been up there as well. So, that's pretty good effort. Especially because he's still young and it's like first season with the car. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, like Mercedes, they weren't quick, but I mean, they were looking better than they have been though. Yeah. I mean, they brought in some upgrades this week. So
same as McLaren, like they looked around the pace. Like you can't. I think if they blame them on having the engine now. Like it's so far into it's not really that far into the season, but like by now you really should be competitive. Everyone should be competitive use of the car. Do you reckon? Is that fair to say? That most
it's kind of hard because like especially this year, like so previous years you had like unlimited cost cap, unlimited like wind tunnel time, like anything like you wanted to do basically you could do it. Now like nowadays there's limitations on like how long you can be in the simulators, how long you can be in the air tunnel, like all that type of shit. So it's gonna be like a longer, and especially with the cost cap as well, it's gonna be like a longer and not more expensive, but like it's gonna be a longer process because they got to make sure the upgrades they do bring aren't gonna be a waste of money, and they're not gonna. So like they don't take out of the like salary cap unnecessarily, and then also so they work, so then they don't have to redesign or like you know what I mean. Yeah, gotcha. So I think it might take a couple more races, but then obviously with the engine freeze and stuff like that, we're not going to see any more like major changes to the engines. Yeah. Once they do get sorted out, they'll probably be fine for a long amount of time anyway. Like we saw with the previous generation of cars that were hardly breaking down and were all very quick at the end of last year. Yeah.
It was funny, like, but it's really early in the season, but I think Latifi's got to go, surely. Like,
Latifi's a joke.
I think everyone else has been really, like, even Schumacher, like, he's been pretty competitive this year. Yeah. And you can't just blame, like, Haas at the moment because Magnussen's come 9. Yeah. Or, like, yesterday. So, think you can put out the picture, like, Latifi's got to get a sack, surely. So is there mid-season sacks? Like, can you get sacked mid-season and get a new driver in on? Is it pretty rare?
Like, you can. It's very rare too, though.
I think they've probably all got, like, contracts just to stay in for the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, and, like, so Latifi's in there because, he doesn't get talked about as much because, like, as, like, a Lance Stroll, but he just, billionaire, just, like, father sponsored the team.
True.
So, without, like... I don't know, so I guess it's kind of the step below what Lance Stroll did with, like, Lawrence Stroll buying Aston Martin for Lance to drive for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if they sack Latifi, they lose the sponsorship.
Yeah, true.
And Williams, I don't know about the state of Williams. I know that back then they needed both Lance, and when Lance left, they then got Latifi to, like, keep that sponsorship money. But maybe now they've got their shit sorted, they don't really need that money.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of everything surrounds the money.
Yeah,
they kind of make avenues out of that, but it comes loops all back to the money.
Yeah, but it's so evident when you have a paid driver. Look at, like, Mazepin, evident. Like, Latifi, so bad. Like, but anyway, moving on.
We're moving on. So that was your stat, or do you?
I've got another stat.
I've got another stat. So basically, we've got a new segment, stat of the week. So we found a stat online. Do we credit the? We might as well credit them.
We'll credit them.
So, found a guy on Twitter a few weeks ago. His name's Swamp Thing, and he comes out with all these, like, stupid stats that some of them make the TV. I found him on Twitter. The great Michael Barlow, Math Pav, and Melbourne follow him, so shout out to them. You go first, because I've just scrolled all the way to the top and completely lost mine. But you go. What's your stat?
So my stat of the week. Jack Ginnivan is the second teenager to win a Collingwood versus Essendon Anzac Day medal.
Damn.
Ginnivan hadn't been born the other time it had happened. Mark McGough in 2002. I mean, that's the year I was born.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a while back. That's pretty cool, though.
That's a crazy stat.
And he's a gun. I genuinely...
How many touches did you get today?
I'm not sure, but I got 5 goals.
5 goals.
Yeah.
Damn, fuck. I didn't really pay much attention to the game after I saw Collingwood winning it. So
I'm pretty sure he scored 5 goals. So, yeah, he didn't win it because we can talk about now. Darcy Parish has 44 posies, 30 at half time.
That's stiff to not win to win the medal off that.
That's insane. So my stat, I still haven't found it. This is gonna be. I'm just gonna keep on talking like this until I find it. It wasn't that long ago though. But what it was, so not including, last year and the year before due to COVID years. And not including buy rounds. I found that, thank God. Not including buy rounds. Someone asked, what is the lowest amount of games in that round? In the era where there's been 9 games in a round. So starting from when Great Western Sydney joined the competition, so 2013 onwards. He was wondering how many games, or what's the lowest amount of games in Melbourne, for, like, the whole round. So normally they have, I think, up to maybe 5 or 6 games, just spreading it across the weekend when there's games on Thursdays and all the way to Sunday. He said, what's the lowest? The lowest is 2 games in Melbourne, and that happened this round, and another round was back in round 23, 2019, and round 9 in 2018. So this round, right, we started the week in Canberra.
Yeah.
And then we went to Mars Stadium, which is in Ballarat. So that doesn't count as Melbourne because Melbourne's like the city. It's in country Victoria.
Yeah.
And then we went to Adelaide Oval for Port versus West Coast.
I feel like that's a bit of a technicality to make the stat.
Well, because... all right. So would you say the Commonwealth Games is coming up in, I think, next... Hey?
26.
Yeah, 26. That's the one where it's in country Victoria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've said that they're not going to have it. Oh, I think this the starting ceremony. They have the start ceremony at the MCG, and then the rest of it is in country Victoria. So that's how they've kind of advertised it.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. So I would say it's country. Like it's like having a game in Bunbury. Like, would you kind of count that as Perth?
I mean, everyone would say, like, I don't know, like saying like, oh, in Melbourne,
Yeah.
like, you're kind of thinking, like, obviously Melbourne-based teams. They're just thinking like all of Victoria kind of at that stage.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I don't know, for the sake of the stat, let's continue.
Yes, we'll continue. Then Geelong played North Melbourne in Hobart at Blundstone Arena. Gold Coast played Brisbane in the Q Clash, and that was obviously up there at Metricon. Then the first game was yesterday. D's versus Richmond and at the G. Launceston today, Hawthorn versus Sydney, and then obviously the Anzac game this afternoon. But that's 2 games. And I feel like that's pretty rare, and it sucked to go and do imagine you do a Melbourne trip during these holidays, right? And you get all the boys over, we're gonna go, and then you get the fixtures off, and you've already booked everything. It's they're 2 good games. Don't forget.
The two Anzac Day games. Yeah, exactly. So it's not like they're losers, but
it's not horrible. But I've just found that pretty because it wouldn't happen that often. Well, obviously not.
I feel like it's gonna be a while since something like that happens again. Surely.
Yeah. So
AFL does love a Melbourne game, but getting into the games this week.
We do. So started off with GWS versus St Kilda. Max King, no good. 1 goal, 7.
That's crazy. He's been one of the most on form, on target forwards this year.
And he's looked like most of those goals are just silly ones anyway. He's lost a bit of confidence, but I don't think GWS going to make finals this year. I had them. Hold
up, that is a random ass switch from we're talking about Max King kicking 1-7 to now GWS.
They looked horrible. They will not squeeze in at all. If you look at the other teams that are around that mark, like the Carltons, even the Hawthorns, I think Hawthorn still beat a GWS.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be a game I'd want to watch, to be fair. It's like a Hawthorn versus GWS. Is that coming up shortly?
Yeah, it would have to. Yeah, it'd have to be. And then Collingwood as well. Collingwood's, I think, getting and squeezing into that top 8, the teams that you're going to be looking for is Collingwood, Hawthorn, and then Carlton and St Kilda and GWS. So that's 5 teams into, say, 2 teams. Yeah, pick 2 of those teams, and I reckon that would be, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So it's going to be hard to squeeze, and those are the games that you need to win. Those games where it's at your home against St Kilda, a good team, but
St Kilda, they're a weird team because I felt like last year they were a good team,
but they just didn't get the results.
Yeah.
They had a really bad start actually.
Yeah. But it felt like they were going to take a step up this year and kind of make a finals run, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're probably not on. You wouldn't say they're on track for that, but I mean, I guess they will be probably that lower half of the 8.
Yeah.
Top half of the kind of 10 to 12 area.
Yeah, and then up the Crom.
Go Crom.
Yeah, Crom won against the Doggies. Doggies have been in the dumps a little bit.
The fuck is going on with Versatile? We had you had them for grand final, didn't you?
I had them first and grand final probably.
That's great. Like, what's going on?
They, especially up at Ballarat as well. Normally they dominate. Bit windy up there. But I don't know what happened to them. But we move on to
first time this year. Port Adelaide, 4 points.
Get the win.
Finally.
They are 1-5. Oh no, 1-5.
Yep.
And I saw the meme where the one.
Yeah.
Of Ken Hinkley in the coach's box. Yeah, someone photoshopped it, so it changes that to a that.
Yeah.
And 5. Obviously, they've got a long way to come back. I still think they're a sneaky chance, So Sydney a few years ago, they were 0-6. They came back and made finals. And obviously that's a very rare occasion, but they showed a little bit. Obviously they should be getting it done against a pretty poor West Coast at the moment.
Has any team won the premiership after going 0-5 to start the year?
Nah, it would be, I would say no, but that's just me saying no, purely because I do know one of the things I've just always remembered was Adelaide won a premiership from coming 5th, so it didn't make top 4. And also, Doggies won it coming 7th in 2016. So
they come 7th in 2016.
Yeah, and it came back
and because that's the lowest. No one's won it from 8th, have they?
No. So that's a stat.
That'd be crazy if Port Adelaide win it after going 0-5. Yeah. That'd be insane.
And you never know, like, get a few injured players back and get a little bit of a roll on. But I don't want to fire them up too much. They were versing an Eagles that are a bit underwhelming at the moment.
Yeah, not a very good Eagles team. But I mean, speaking of the Eagles, crosstown rivals, Fremantle, are they the real deal?
I think, look, they didn't have Chappie, didn't have most of their younger players due to COVID, so they were out of the sides. Carlton was supposed to be pretty good. It was at Freo's home, so
it's a bit of a fortress Optus for Freo as well.
I was saying if it was at the MCG against Carlton, then you never know, it could be a different story.
Yeah,
I think the real test will be coming up, whether they're away from home and got to get it done. But you never know. Could be. I think we both had them in our top 8, didn't we? That's all coming up.
Yeah. And also shout out to Carlton as well. Just on a quick one, their jerseys. Oh my god, they are so nice. The white ones.
I had to look twice. So, I think I saw about. It was late into the game. I hadn't seen a replay, and I was obviously watching it. We had it on at Raj's house, and I didn't even take note of it. But they look real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to them. The Q Clash. Is that any good?
I didn't watch it. It's never been a game that I've been like, let me go watch it though.
They've got like a little rivalry. Like Zorko and Miller hate each other. You ever seen those when they like go at it?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, then they got in a bit of a run in, and so I've never obviously.
But it's hard to get behind a rivalry. I don't know. Did Brisbane win this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's hard to have a rivalry when like one team's always winning.
Dominant. Yeah.
And like I mean, we're talking about the derby and how the derby is always a case of like one team will win it for ages, then the next team will win it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like Brisbane have just been consistently winning this since Gold Coast have come on the scene. Really.
Yeah. Well, I think. At one point, Brisbane were crap, so they both had a bit of a rivalry for a little bit. But no goods. We'll move straight on to Melbourne kicking 22 points in the Anzac Eve game. I watched it, obviously, and it was absolutely horrible game to watch. It was...
You guys got the win, though, yeah?
We got the win, yeah. We ended up having 20 more inside 50s than...
Jesus.
Yeah, Tigers. 9 goals, 22, ended up winning by 22 points, but it was not a sight for the eyes. Like,
it just shows how good you guys are at moving the footy to be able to get it 20 more inside 50s.
Oh,
and then
once we got it in, a lot of the shots were just like kind of 50-50 like pings at goals, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're not really definitely not set shots, and they're not running and score. And it was just like the building pressure of. We've scored like 4 behinds, right? And then Richmond will score a goal. And it's like all that hard work of 4 behinds, which is like 4 shots at goal, versus 1 inside 50 for Richmond to get a goal. Like all the hard work. And then it was just like a knock-on effect of like pressure building. And it came to a point where...
I'm sorry, you continue.
Yeah, it came to a point where... So imagine like you're playing a footy game, right? And you've scored, say, 6 behinds in a row. And you're having a shot at goal. And you're like... there's like huge pressure to kick it. But then at the same time, I don't know if it's just like my head, but I'll be like, all right, I need to kick this goal, but like 6 of the other boys have missed their goals. Like if I miss mine right now, I don't care.
But then at the same time though, it's like you want to be the one that kicks the goal to then get the moment, like get the boys rolling again, get them all up.
So
I mean I wish I'd watched that game. I didn't get the chance to watch it, but I mean Melbourne kind of play like you think back to like kind of the prime Richmond when they were on their run, where it was like run, hand pass and all that a lot, and then Melbourne's played that kind of like running style now.
Yeah, and Petrarca was saying that the Anzac Clash game used to be like they treated it as a grand final because like one of those big games that you want to show up for on a big stage against like Richmond were the premier, like the reigning premiers for a lot of those years.
Yeah.
So and I know pressure, like you build pressure, you build diamonds on using pressure. So I know the D's love saying that, and the media at the moment are absolutely going ham. Oh, Melbourne going to win 22. That could be the first ever team to go undefeated in a whole year. I'm just like, bro, you just have an off game and just lose one game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's all
pressure on them at the moment.
That's all it takes. But then at the same time, you're looking at their run because like their run really didn't start this year; it started last year.
Oh, 100%.
So
in a row right now.
Like it's a crazy run that they've been on.
Yeah.
And if they do, man, like I think if a team was to go undefeated a whole season, it would be this Melbourne team.
Yeah, and thing is, don't get ahead of myself. That Essendon in 2000, I'm pretty sure they had an unreal run. I think it was either 2000, 2001. They had an unreal run.
That's when is it Lloyd or Long that played for him?
Nah, Lloyd. Yeah.
Lloyd. That's
Lloyd was. I'm pretty sure he was really young at that point. Still, and he was like, I'm
pretty sure he got drafted like 99, 2000, didn't he?
Yeah. So that's what. Yeah, that was probably Essendon's prime. I haven't really done anything since.
Yeah.
But
probably last time they made finals.
Yeah. We move on to today's game. So Hawthorn versus Sydney. I checked the phone just to see who's winning, and it was 16 minutes into the first quarter, and I say, hang on, 32-0. I'm like, geez, this could be an absolute game for Hawthorn were up. I was like, Hawthorn they love playing down at Hobart as well. They dominate teams down there. This could be a massive blowout, and then Sydney end up winning.
I mean, the entire game, Hawthorn have a lead, and then the last quarter, Sydney come out of nowhere and start leading that. Yeah,
so after half-time, Hawthorn kicked 3 goals, and Sydney kicked 12. Damn. So Sydney ended up winning by 41 points. So you can see
the final score does not really like show kind of what the game was looking like at that stage.
Yeah, and glad I didn't put a bet on that because I feel like if you did bet on Hawthorn, you'd be like, we're going to smash it. And then it's like, goal. And then it's like, we just lost by 40.
Depressing.
And then last game today.
It's one of my favorite games to watch just because I love the jerseys that the two teams wear.
Definitely the game of probably game of the round. I didn't watch that Western Bulldogs game, but I don't know. Yeah, it was a good game.
I mean, Collingwood, from what I was watching, looked like they were in control for most of the game.
Yeah,
I mean, it was tight towards the end, but I mean, Collingwood was still winning.
Yeah, I think once having Pendlebury's been playing off the halfback, right? And so having just a player like him that just looks like he has so much time on the field when he gets the ball and he can do pretty much anything with it. Having him playing halfback with the whole game, and then in the last quarter when you really need to win some stoppages, having him, and like it's just like a cheat code, really. I think.
Did you know he has a basketball background?
Oh, really? But did you know that also has a basketball background? But obviously, was it Ginnivan? He won the medal.
Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps up the footy round. At one point, we will say what our tips are doing because we started a tipping little competition.
We did.
So next week will be around a third of the way through. So we'll kind of go through our tips and see who's winning that.
Yep.
But let's move on to the selection table.
Too easy.
Let's go.
So, selection table this week. Big one. Everyone's favourite segment. So let's go straight into it. First up on the selection table, we have the Perth Wildcats. Now, I don't know how much you follow the NBL. Perth Wildcats, insane team. They've made the playoffs past 35 years.
Yep.
Last night, that streak snapped.
So I didn't realise I lost last night. And every year, I just go and have a little look at the ladder. I don't watch any of the games. I've been to one game, right? Mm-hmm. Went with Jacko and Craig. Shout out to them. And it was back in the day where it was at Challenge. Was it Challenge Stadium and Challenge Arena? Yeah. So it was like pretty small. Like it's way better. You've been to the Wildcats game at Perth Arena, and it's like so much better.
Yeah.
And so when I went to my one and only game, there was a few adults. I think they were sitting in front of us, had a few too many drinks, and one lady yaks everywhere. So that was my one and only game. I wouldn't mind going to a game. I'm not like scarred by that. I was probably going to be like Raj if we went to a game. I'd be Raj yakking everywhere. So I always look and I'm like, just get into the finals every year.
Yeah.
But was it 20 something years you stay?
35 years they've made the playoffs, and they missed out by 2 points essentially. They went to overtime.
If they won last night, they would have gone in.
Yeah. So Perth Wildcats missed out the playoffs. The Jack Jumpers, which are the new expansion team, they made the playoffs in their first year.
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive from them. Yeah, bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, I think obviously they could probably get a lot of support like GWS do, but we'd have thought that at the start, a new team, they get just pumped just through the cohesion between the teams. So lots of new players come and joining the team and like not really knowing each other. But no, it's a pretty good effort.
Yeah.
So do you know have you been watching it all? Like who's probably the favourite to win, do you reckon, if Wildcats aren't in this year?
Who do you reckon it would be? Like
Sydney Kings.
Southeast or
Southeast. And Southeast Melbourne are the ones that beat Wildcats last night.
Melbourne over the past few years with
Yeah.
Wildcats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy.
So Perth Wildcats, what do we bring them to? Keep them at the twos, or bring up to the ones?
Because they didn't make finals, probably have to keep them in the twos.
Keep them in the twos, not relegating to the twos.
Nah.
Keep them in the wings.
We'll keep them in the twos just purely because over the years, it's just really nice to see like a Perth team doing well.
And look, WA is probably the most successful sports state in Australia, and we're coming for the rest of the states because we have to be.
Yeah, well, we should. Buddy, get a petition going. Bring back the bloody state of origin for footy, like.
Oh, the legit. Because
we'd
win that as well.
Yeah, we'd dominate that. Perth Wildcats, Scorchers at the moment. Sheffield
Shield, yeah.
Yeah, so there's not many teams. Yeah, obviously West Coast, I can remember.
Well, West Coast, hold up, but in the AFL thing, West Coast have like the second most amount of premierships in the AFL era.
Yeah, true.
So that's also footy. We're fucking sick in
and
WA.
we'll count for it. Like Free would probably help them along the way, like.
With what?
So obviously, when West Coast win premierships, we Freo, just like let you guys get a little percentage boosters when they just come along, and, like, all those little things on the table.
Is it a percentage booster or is it like just shit?
Freo gave you Hugh Dixon this year. He's been pretty good, hasn't he? And you probably don't know who Dixon is.
I don't know.
No, he's a big tall ruckman that was shit for Freo and then somehow ended up on West Coast list.
So
but anyway, yeah, we'll keep it in twos just for the culture.
Moving on to the selection table, we have a Max Verstappen, winner at Emilia last night. Like we're saying, dominant win all weekend. He looked good in the sprint race. He looked good.
Basically, I think put him on to the ones. It was a bit worrying at the start where he wasn't really performing to his standard. Is Max Verstappen on the table?
Sorry, Max Verstappen on the table. Yeah, what are you watching?
All right. So basically, Max Verstappen, not very good at the start, but I think he's obviously really good, and I would say a little bit better than Charles Leclerc. I think Charles Leclerc's car's been performing better. That's why he hasn't been winning. Is he second win this year?
Whose?
Verstappen.
This is his second win this year. I mean, he's got a quick car but an unreliable car, whereas Charles Leclerc he's quick, not as quick as Max, but his car's got that kind of bit more edge of reliability. I guess Ferrari's holding a little bit back on that car, but let's F1 talk. Just as a whole, Max Verstappen, he's a 1* time world champion. But I mean, dominant fashion. Both his wins this year. Bringing up to the ones or keeping him in the twos?
Putting him in the ones. He's a really good driver.
And it's crazy because another stat, might not have known, so Kimi Räikkönen, the Iceman, Max Verstappen now has more race wins than Kimi Räikkönen did in his entire career, and Max is only 24 years old.
And how many did Kimi win?
I don't know an exact number. I mean, Kimi also did win a world championship, but I think he won 2.
Okay. No, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a crazy stat. Yeah,
it is a mad stat. I mean, Kimi did have a bad car with like the West McLaren. It wasn't particularly great. But moving on, Max is in at the ones.
Yeah.
The Anzac Day game. Now this one, bit controversial. Everyone that I've talked to that has been to both the Anzac Day Eve game and the Anzac Day game. Everyone that's spoken to has been to both. Have said the Anzac Eve game is better than the Anzac Day game.
Yeah.
Have you been to both?
So. I've been to Melbourne when it was Essendon versus Collingwood, but it wasn't actually the round, so it was like round 16. So
okay.
I can't say I have been to the nice spectacle of the Anzac Day game.
Yeah.
In general, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, night games are better than day games, and I'd say.
But a night grand final is worse than a day grand final, in my opinion.
I'd say twilight's better than day, but then it goes day and then obviously night. I think just through, based on a night grand final, right? So the game finishes at, it's hard to say in Perth because the time zone.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a late night. If you're celebrating obviously when it's a day game, you got the whole day and it comes really early on for the grand final. And then you can go out and party after and you can still get home at 12 and it's been a big day. Whereas if it's a night grand final, like you got the whole day to wait for it and then it comes to the game and then you go out after and it's just it's just super long. So
and it doesn't feel like a grand final at that point either though, because I remember when it was Geelong versus Richmond.
Yeah, that grand final.
It didn't even feel like a grand final. It was just it felt like another day, like just another game. I like waking up and it's like, the game starts at 12 o'clock-ish over here or whatever time it is.
Legit 1 o'clock 12.
And it's in the day, you a couple drinks throughout the day watching the game, whereas now it's like you get the drinks started early, but it just doesn't feel like, it doesn't have that whole vibe towards it, the whole grand final feel.
Yeah, and I went to the grand final this year and that was a twilight grand final and I thought that was the perfect mixture of ideally it would be a bit earlier so you can get the drinks in, kind of party after, because after this year's grand final I thought about going out. I was like, we had seasons the next day, and I was like, fuck, I was put all my energy into my celebrations at the seasons. So didn't really get to go out, but it was kind of nice to start the day. It was daytime, and then after you get the fireworks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's a nice spectacle. But going back, I'd say the night game for the Anzac. Anzac clash, Anzac Eve clash.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the Anzac Day clash.
So I guess for the selection table, the Anzac Day game.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the kind of shit wording of the two games. It's the best way to put it, I guess. The Anzac Day game is the one on the selection table. So because the Anzac Eve game is better, we're dropping that down to the 2s.
Yeah, we have to.
Shit day. Lest we forget though. Let's get that out there. All right. So moving on, we have last segment of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing it back from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it's one. Everyone loved this one a few weeks ago. So basically, it's called bullshit. It's called lies, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna have a little topic, and I'm gonna get Clay in this seat. I'm gonna jump over there and be the quiz master. And let's go. So. Show you explain the rules?
Yeah, hit everyone with the rules.
Alright, so basically, I'm going to say a topic. So it's going to be a topic, let's say topics like trees, Clay. Name as many types of trees that you can name, obviously. And Clay's going to say, man can say
3.
And then Dylan can either say more, so you can go 5 or 6 types of trees, or he can say bullshit, I reckon you couldn't even name 3, Clay. So I found 3 different categories, I guess. And the first one is, can you guys name, how many of these Collingwood current players, can you name in 30 seconds?
Okay, are we rock, paper, scissors for who's going first?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
on. Rock, paper, scissors. What is this? When do you ever go on the last one? It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I go paper, scissors, rock.
It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I go 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Alright, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And on shoot?
Yeah.
Alright. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Alright, I can name 2 Collingwood players.
I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can go 6.
I don't think I can name 7, so I'm going to have to call bullshit.
Alright, so
your time starts now.
So you have Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, Darcy Moore, Brody Grundy, Jamie Elliott, Will Hoskin Elliott, Jamie Elliott.
One more.
Fuck. Not Jamie Elliott. What's the other one? Not Dane Beams. Fuck, what's his name? Oh, fuck.
Seconds. I think.
I said
5, 4, 3.
Mason Cox.
He's got it in.
That wasn't Mason. Mason Cox wasn't what I was thinking of, but
You named more. But you named one more than
yeah.
So that one was easily done. Dylan's on 1 point. The next.
Just quietly though. So as I know, so I said 6, and I was like, I know for a fact that Clay cannot name over 6 players, and I was like, if he says a number that's over 6, I'm calling bullshit on him.
Yeah.
So, next one is, how many Essendon current players can you name in 30 seconds?
4.
I can name 5.
Bullshit.
Yeah, class.
Alright,
Smashed it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Peter Wright.
Yeah.
2 meter Peter.
Yep. What's his name? 44 disposals. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, nah.
A third of the way through. There's no pressure on you, Clay. There is no pressure.
There's different pressure, mate.
There is no pressure.
That's on, like, midfielders.
Yeah, so midfield. They have a stacked midfield. You're running out of time, but bloody.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
His man said he could name how many? 5?
Was it 5?
Yeah, I think it was 5 players. He said he could name 4.
Yeah. Is what it is, man.
Can I have a go? Can I attempt?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, like for no points. So we've got Dylan Chill, Tex Wanganeen. That's his name? Darcy Parish, Dyson Heppel. Fuck, who else is Merritt? What's his name? Andrew Merritt. Zach Merritt. Tip and Woody. Yeah, Tip and Woody.
Not really.
So yeah.
Not in the AFL.
Alright, so
Alright, well, it is currently 2-2.
that was for the fans at home.
More of an NBA, Donny.
Just yeah.
Yeah, well, players not gonna like me for this last one because it's footy related. Yeah.
Fremantle or some
It
shit.
is. How many Anzac Day medalists can you name? So best ones for the Anzac Clash, Collingwood versus Essendon. How many can you name?
3.
3.
I can go 4.
I can go 5.
Alright, bullshit.
Alright.
Alright, time starts now.
Nick Maxwell would have had to have won one.
No.
He didn't.
No.
Alright, so Scott Pendlebury.
Yep.
Nick Maxwell.
You just.
Sorry, not Nick Maxwell. Dane Swan.
Yep.
Jack Giovanni, whatever his fucking name, he won it today.
Yeah, you want today?
Has Zach Merritt won one?
He hasn't.
Dyson Heppel would have won one.
Carson Heppel.
Yeah.
Never.
He's never won one.
5
Fuck.
seconds.
Fuck me. I'm not gonna get this one down. I thought Dyson Heppel would have won one.
Bang!
Shit. I'm guessing Bucks would have won one, surely.
He actually didn't, no.
Didn't he?
Seth Rocker won a vote. So Bucks got like 3 votes one time.
Yeah.
So I think it was the first ever one, and Seth Rocker won over.
Oh, what?
Joe Watson.
So
Joe Watson is a good shout.
No.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah. So
Damn.
This off some names. You guys, this is off the ones that you would know. So Dustin Harris won last year.
Taylor Adams.
Hall, when he was playing for Collingwood.
That's what I forgot, yeah. Damn.
He was live bottom. Paul Seatsman when he was playing for Collingwood, obviously plays for LA now. Swanee, Zaharakis, that famous goal.
Yeah.
Obviously Pendlebury, Paddy Ryder back in the day. Do you remember Paul Medhurst? No.
No.
I think he played Waffle for a little bit. Heath Shaw might have gone back.
Yeah.
in the day.
There's a lot of players now, like, hearing the names, it's crazy. But then even hearing the names that missed out on them is also crazy to me, like Dane Swan and stuff. And yeah.
Heppel never went.
Heppel, yeah.
And then there was some of the older guys, so Ben Johnson, Andrew Lovett, Mike McGo, that's the one that you're saying before.
Yeah.
Chris Tarrant, remember him?
Chris Tarrant. Yeah.
James Hurd. And then other ones are Rocker, Russell, Monkhurst, and Sakiri. So
Not bad.
Dylan couldn't even name one.
That's crazy to me. Honestly, that was an out there one.
Yeah, when you get stuck on when you don't believe like I'm right, like your one's like that was definitely one like you're no, because if I said yes, then you're like, oh yeah.
Like, yeah, you just like you're getting the kind of the flow of it. It throws you off. But
that wraps up.
you coming back over this side, got to wrap up for the thing.
Jesus Christ.
I think Clay's got to start doing.
Clay was good. I thought you knew more about that, don't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say you could,
I know like stupid things.
into the mic.
I know like stupid kind of topics.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you Essendon won the first ever grand final because there was never one in 1897.
Yeah,
They
right.
won themselves top of the ladder.
Oh wow.
You gotta start bridging. You gotta start brushing up on your like players kind of trivia though, because this is the second time that we had player.
I think we lost one.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't you win? What did he win last time?
Oh,
Like, it was like 3. He named like 4 players or something, wasn't it?
It was you, and you fumbled
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So you wanted a technicality. but no, but like you didn't win because I was the one that submitted an answer and lost. But
But you should be able to like name.
I mean, it's poor form for me. But I'm not going to accept someone saying they beat me because they didn't submit an answer. But yeah, my boy, you got to start brushing up on your knowledge.
Yeah. So wrap it up this week. Another episode, or do you have anything else that we kind of came through in the round?
Not really. Another episode, weekly episode of your favorite podcast in the world.
Make sure you subscribe. Obviously,
Check out Spotify. That's a big one. Subscribe's a big one. Subscribe on YouTube's a big one.
Yeah.
Follow us on Insta.
Give us a thumbs up. I think there's a 5-star rating on Spotify. So
Hit that one.
Give us a 5. You know, you already wanted to.
Follow the TikTok on the site. We finally got our login and all that sorted out,
Yeah.
so we can upload to TikTok this week. That's it.
Peace.